I'd only swung by the house to grab a charger, that's it. But when I stepped into the backyard, I was hit with a wall of cheers, over 100 people shouting congratulations. A massive banner hung above them, he asked. She said yes. I blinked, completely lost. What's going on? I asked. Mom turned to me with this big smile. It's your brother, she said. He just got engaged. To Jenna, she added, like it was some happy surprise. Jenna. My ex. Then, like it was some kind of thoughtful gesture, she leaned in and said, oh, and we took out a $17,000 loan in your name to pay for all of this. Consider it your gift. I didn't say a word. Just froze the loan, pulled out my phone, tapped twice, and said 5 words. 12 minutes later, every single one of those 102 guests got a file. I told you he'd ruin it, Mom muttered loud enough for nearby guests to hear. Like she wasn't even trying to keep it quiet. He's always had that jealous look. I was still just standing there, front door still cracked open behind me, keys in one hand, backpack hanging off one shoulder. Staring out at my childhood backyard, now decked out with party streamers, rows of rented white chairs, a giant tent, and a crowd of strangers clapping at me, I thought at first. Then I turned around and saw the banner again. He asked. She said yes. And below it, a 10-foot photo of my brother Ryan, down on one knee, holding out a ring to Jenna. Yeah. That Jenna. My ex. Not some casual fling. Not a high school memory. No, we lived together. 2 years. Talked about getting married. Broke up hard. The real kind of breakup. The kind that hurts in your bones. My throat went dry. And that crappy Bluetooth charger I'd driven 25 minutes to retrieve? It felt like a joke. Like I'd stumbled into someone else's dream. The kind where you're naked and everyone's staring. Then Mom appeared next to me. She was glowing. Smiling like she was proud. That warm, syrupy voice of hers just oozing fake cheer. It's your brother, she said. He's engaged. To Jenna. Like I was supposed to laugh, or clap, or say something other than, are you serious? I didn't say a thing. Just stared at her. She leaned in, like she was letting me in on a sweet little secret. And we used that $17,000 loan in your name to cover the party. Think of it as your gift. From you. To them. I couldn't even process it. Didn't respond. I felt something inside my chest snap, not loudly, but sharp. Like something that had been stretched too far finally gave out. People were still cheering. Confetti flew through the air. Someone I didn't even know was snapping selfies with Jenna. Ryan was laughing like it was the best day of his life. Jenna saw me, then looked away. I didn't yell. Didn't throw anything. Didn't even move closer. I just stood there. Then I reached into my pocket, unlocked my phone, tapped it twice, and spoke 5 words. Check your phones. Right now. Within 12 minutes, all 102 guests had received the file. By minute 15, you could hear a pin drop. And that silence? It was only the beginning. I didn't even stay to watch the fireworks. I walked past the buffet tables, the champagne tower, the slideshow of their love story playing on a projector beside Dad's old tool shed. Guests were starting to check their phones, some looked confused, others disturbed. I didn't run. Didn't have to. I'd done my part. Now it was their turn to squirm. What did I send them? A simple PDF. Titled, How I Lost a Fiancé and $17,000, a cautionary tale. Inside were screenshots, text messages between Ryan and Jenna while she and I were still together. Venmo receipts. A full spreadsheet of party costs billed to me. Loan documents. And even a voice memo, Jenna saying, he'll never find out. He's too busy being useful. Useful. That's what I was to them. A tool. A means to an end. Not a person. You want the whole story? Fine. Here's how it got to this point. I'm the oldest. The fixer. The one everyone turns to when something breaks. When the water heater exploded at Mom's house? I paid for the new one. When Ryan totaled his car in college? I co-signed the loan to get him another. When Dad's business went under, I floated them $6,000. Just until next month, they said. That month never came. And the worst part? I never said no. Not once. They took my silence as agreement. Mom would give me this soft smile and say things like, "You know how much this means to us," like I was supposed to feel honored. Dad would grunt, "You're the only one who understands responsibility." Ryan? He didn't even bother with gratitude. Just slapped my back and said, "You got me, bro." Right? Sure. Right. It all came to a head 4 months ago. I just moved into my first real apartment, clean walls, actual furniture, and a couple plants that were somehow still alive. I invited the family over for dinner. Nothing big, just some pasta and red wine. Only Mom showed. Late. Barely touched her plate. 10 minutes in, she pulled out some paperwork and asked if I could co-sign something small. A $12,000 personal loan. "It's for Ryan's business," she said, like it was a birthday card. I told her I'd think about it. That was my first mistake. Gave her a sliver of hope. A week later, I noticed a credit inquiry. Then another. Then the loan was approved. In my name. I called her, furious. "Why would you do that without asking?" Her tone flipped on a dime, from guilty to cold. "You said you were thinking about it. That means yes. We needed it. Ryan's future is on the line. You'll be fine. You make good money." That's when it hit me. They didn't see it as stealing. To them, it was just redistributing. I stopped picking up their calls after that. Started digging. Pulled my full credit report. That's when I found the second loan. $17,000. Event planning services. The payment memo said it all. Engagement celebration. Property backyard. I felt like I was gonna throw up. I hadn't seen Jenna in over a year. We'd ended quietly. She said she needed space. That the timing wasn't right. That it wasn't me. Yeah. It was me. Or more accurately, it was Ryan. I don't know when it started. Honestly, I don't even care. What mattered were the timestamps. She texted him the day after she left my place. Called him baby within a week. She didn't even block me. Just moved on like I was a piece of furniture she didn't need anymore. And the worst part? They all knew. The texts made it clear Dad helped Ryan pick out the ring. Mom was hosting Sunday dinners with Jenna like she was already part of the family. Meanwhile, I was still sitting in silence, blaming myself for not being enough. And they were proud of it. 2 weeks before the party, Mom posted a private photo album on Facebook. It was titled "Big Day Soon." I wasn't tagged. I wasn't even blocked. Just erased. Like I never mattered. There were photos: Ryan's hand holding out a ring box, Jenna laughing on the patio, my mom in the background with a clipboard and that tight-lipped smirk she reserves for holidays and betrayal. The caption read, "When you know, you know. She's the perfect match for our Ryan." Perfect. Sure. I hadn't spoken to any of them in weeks, but that post told me everything I needed to know. So I got to work. First thing, I froze the loans. Took 2 days and a favor from a lawyer friend. Then I filed the fraud reports. Sent every email. Pulled every receipt I could find. Then I opened a folder I hadn't touched since the breakup. Jenna_chat_backup.zip. I'd saved the iCloud backup after we split. Not because I was bitter, because I'm the kind of guy who documents things. Thorough to a fault. Inside were voice notes. Screenshots. Photos. GPS pings. Even some of her Google Docs journal entries. She actually wrote, "He's sweet, but dull. Too safe. Ryan is fire. Ryan makes me feel dangerous again." She typed that while still logged into my Netflix. That line made the file. The day of the party, I parked 3 blocks away. Wore jeans and a hoodie. No dress shirt. No fanfare. Just walked around back like I still belonged there. Because for years, I had. Nobody noticed me at first, too busy clinking glasses, posing for pictures. There was a photo booth, a Ryan plus Jenna cake, and gold monogrammed napkins. Then someone finally saw me. Oh my god, you made it. That's when I spotted the banner, the crowd, my brother on a little platform with a mic and Jenna standing beside him, wearing my mother's pearls. I stood there. Still. Cold. Then Mom turned and spotted me. And with that smile like she was offering a cookie, she said the line that lit the fuse. We took out a $17,000 loan in your name. Consider it a gift. Gift? Like I was Santa. Like my identity was just another stocking stuffer. So I tapped the file. It's sent. Everything unraveled in seconds. Jenna's boss was there. She left halfway through the PDF. 3 of Ryan's friends started arguing with him in the middle of the lawn. And Tina? Pretended like nothing happened, sipping champagne with trembling hands. Dad came storming after me as I slipped out through the side gate. You think this little stunt undoes what they have? He barked. You think you're gonna ruin their happiness? I didn't stop. Just turned slightly and said, you shouldn't have signed my name. He grabbed my arm. I pulled out my phone. If you touch me again, I'll call the authorities. He froze. Good. That night, the group chat lit up like a bonfire. Dad, you need to fix this before it gets out. Mom, how could you do this to your own brother? Ryan, come talk to me. Be a man about it. Jenna, blocked. I let them simmer. Let them marinate in it. Then I dropped the match. I uploaded the folder to a public cloud link. Shared it with no comment except one line. Just so everyone's clear, this is how my family celebrates love, with theft, lies, and someone else's joy. 3 days after the backyard ambush, I got a text from Mom. Just us. No drama. We just want to talk. She invited me to dinner at the house. Keep it civil. Your father made steak. Ryan will be there. Jenna too. You owe them at least that. I didn't owe them a damn thing. But I said yes. Not because I wanted peace. Because I was ready to end it. I showed up 10 minutes early. The house looked exactly like it always did, fake calm, warm porch light glowing like nothing ever happened. Music playing softly. Laughter behind the door. Jenna opened it. No words. Smudged mascara, forced smile. She stepped aside without a sound. The dining table was set for 6. Like it was Thanksgiving. Mom brought out plates like we were about to say grace. Dad poured wine. Ryan sat at the end of the table, arms crossed, jaw tight. Mom cleared her throat. Can we all just, she sighed. Can we just talk? No one responded. So she kept going. This is all just a misunderstanding. The loan, we thought you said yes. And Jenna, relationships are messy. You were over. It just happened. It didn't just happen, I said. Flat. Cold. Her lips twitched. We just wanted to do something nice. For Ryan. For the family. We weren't trying to hurt you. I nodded. Slowly. Then reached into my bag. Pulled out the folder. Wasn't thick. But every page hit like a slap. I dropped it in the center of the table. Dad squinted. What's that? Truth, I said. First page, loan contract. My name. Signature line blank. Forged. Second, bank emails confirming party costs, Mom listed as the planner, Ryan named as payer on behalf of Nate. Third, a screenshot from Jenna's DMs. She wrote to Ryan. He's still paying off your car. You better pop the question before he grows a spine. Mom went pale. Ryan read it in silence, then tossed the paper like it stung. That's private, Jenna muttered. No, I said. It's theft. It's betrayal. It's all of you using my name, my money, and my trust. Dad growled, so what? You want revenge? You want to humiliate us in front of everyone? You already did that yourselves, I said. I want accountability. Then came the photo. A bank security cam still, Dad at the counter, submitting loan paperwork. My social security number on the form. Timestamp matched the loan date. And my signature? A forgery. His face darkened. You spying on us now? I'd been protecting myself, I replied. Something you taught me never to expect from family. Then I laid down the final card. A letter. Stamped from the credit bureau. Due to suspected identity fraud, my father's access to major credit institutions had been frozen. His score? Flagged. Co-signing privileges? Revoked. I placed it in front of him without a word. He didn't read it. Just stared at me with eyes full of fire. You think this fixes anything? He spat. You don't fix this, I'll. That's enough, a voice cut in. Everyone turned. A figure stood in the doorway. Tall. Calm. Very familiar. Caleb. Jenna's ex. He stepped inside, cool as ever, holding his own folder. Hope I'm not interrupting, he said. Just thought someone else should talk. Ryan stood like he was ready to swing. Jenna's voice cracked. Caleb, get out. He ignored her. Just so we're clear, he said, flipping open the folder, Jenna was still living with me when she started texting him. He nodded at Ryan. And texting you, he added, locking eyes with me. About needing space. He placed printouts on the table and messages, side by side, timestamped. Same day. Different men. Identical lies. She played us both, he said. I wasn't looking for payback. I just wanted closure. Caleb looked at me and said, she told me your family would handle it. Said you always do. That you were raised to say yes. His words, not mine. Then he walked out. The silence he left behind was brutal. Even the silverware looked embarrassed. Mom made one last try. Honey, we can get through this. We have to. No, I said. I stood up. I'm done. With the guilt. The debt. The lies. Ryan stood too. So that's it? You're just walking away? Over a girl? I looked him in the eye. You mean my ex? The one you proposed to using money stolen in my name? He had nothing to say. I leaned in a little. You two deserve each other. All of you do. Then I turned toward the door. Dad stood up. Don't you dare turn your back on this family. I turned just enough. I didn't, I said. You did. I just finally saw it. Then I left. And this time, nobody followed. I walked into my apartment. Quiet. Clean. No leftover messes, no noise that wasn't mine. First thing I did? Deleted every voicemail from the night before. 36 missed calls. A dozen texts. All saying the same thing. Please talk to us. You're still our son. We didn't mean to hurt you. Then Ryan's final text, she's gone. I hope you're happy. I didn't respond. I made coffee. Black. No sugar. Let the bitterness match the mood. I didn't go to work that day. I went to the bank. Closed the account they'd been siphoning from. Opened a new one under a fresh entity. Not just for protection, but to make a statement. That evening, I called my lawyer buddy again. Remember that trust Grandpa talked about? Yeah. I want out. You sure? I'm not here to inherit. I'm here to break free. He got it. The next week, every financial tie was cut. No shared credit. No cosigns. No joint anything. My name was scrubbed from every system they had access to. I didn't tell them. Let them find out when the next emergency hit. I changed gyms. Grocery stores. Cancelled every shared subscription. Netflix? Gone. Spotify? Deleted. Amazon Prime? Cancelled. Even though I knew they still used it for family orders. Then came the final move. Literally. I relocated. Not far, just far enough. I'd had my eye on a place uptown for a while, top floor corner loft, exposed brick, tons of light, key code entry, underground parking. Signed the lease the same day Ryan texted me, she's gone. Good. Let them deal with that mess. I was already gone. 3 days after the move, someone knocked at my old place. It was Dad. My old neighbor called. There's some guy pounding on your door like it owes him money. I didn't answer. 2 days later, it was Mom. She left a note on the doormat. Just one line, please don't do this. I didn't. They already had. I spent the next month rebuilding in silence. Took the trip I'd been putting off for 3 years. No Instagram stories. No check-ins. Just me, a cabin in the woods, and a book I'd never finished. When I came back, 2 emails were waiting. One from the private investigator I'd quietly hired. The other, from Grandpa's lawyer. The first? Dad tried applying for another small business loan. Denied. Flagged for fraud. The second? The trust had been restructured. My portion was locked down. No more shared access for emergencies. That clause? Gone. It wasn't revenge. It was insurance. Weeks passed. Nothing. Then Samantha, Jenna's older sister, found me. Showed up in the lobby of my building. I'm not here to fight, she said. I just want to say something. I paused, then let her in. We sat by the elevators. No small talk. No water offered. She didn't expect any. She left the state, she said. Jenna? Back to Ohio. Moved in with our mom. I didn't ask why. She blamed you, Samantha went on. But I know better. I know what she did. And what your family did. I stayed quiet. Then Samantha hit me with something that made me stop. She told me you'd never fight back. Said you were too passive. Too desperate to be loved. I nodded. She was right, I said. Until I wasn't. Next day, I walked into a notary office and signed over the old family car I still technically owned, the one Ryan drove. Donated it to a veterans charity. They picked it up that afternoon. I didn't tell him. Figured he'd find out when the driveway was empty. Then Mom tried logging into the family health insurance portal. Surprise. I wasn't the sponsor anymore. They'd have to figure it out themselves. Each quiet click of disconnection was a brick back in place. I wasn't loud. But I was permanent. It didn't end in a fight. It ended in silence. They faded out in slow motion. Still calling. Still pleading. Still pretending I was just being dramatic. But I wasn't angry anymore. I was free. I never went back. Not for birthdays. Not for funerals. Not even when Aunt Rachel texted, "Things have settled down." There's a difference between letting go and giving people permission to come back. I wasn't doing either. I deleted every photo with their faces. Blocked every cousin sending just checking in texts, the kind that only show up when rumors start flying. No more, maybe one day. No more, but they're still your family. No more guilt in a glass jar. Some people think revenge is loud. Explosive. Dramatic. But sometimes, it's quiet. Cold. Permanent. Like walking past your dad's favorite bakery and not even glancing at the window. Like seeing your brother's name in your missed calls and not even caring enough to delete it. Like remembering your mom saying, "We're still your parents," and realizing that blood isn't a currency. 2 months after I disappeared, I got a letter. An actual letter. Envelope. Stamp. It came from my childhood dentist's office. Your appointment has been canceled. Your family removed you from the insurance plan. I laughed. That was the last thing they had left to take. So I booked a new appointment on my own. New provider. New location. New everything. When the receptionist asked if I wanted to list an emergency contact, I shook my head. No. Then I paused. Thought for a second. Actually, yeah. Put down my lawyer. 6 weeks later, I opened my garage and smiled. There it was, the custom steel sign I'd ordered. Matte black. Clean design. Bold white letters. Do not knock. Family no longer resides here. I bolted it right next to the front door. Not because I expected them to show up again, but just in case they ever forgot who I am now. I'm not their emergency contact anymore. Not their fallback. Not their last-minute solution when things fall apart. I'm not the outlet they plug into when they need power, and I'm definitely not the guy who makes their chaos affordable. I'm the ghost of every boundary they crossed, now rebuilt in steel and stone. And if they ever think about using my name again, they'd better talk to a bank first.